At that time, I had the opportunity to work as a kitchen assistant at a bustling restaurant in the heart of Pattaya, Thailand. Before getting this job, I had struggled to find work in various places, but I finally found a suitable position at this restaurant in Pattaya. The pay was reasonable, the location was convenient, and the coworkers were friendly and easy to get along with. Everything seemed perfect, making me incredibly happy with my new job. This restaurant was quite large, spanning 5 floors. The first and second floors served as the main dining areas, elegantly decorated, air-conditioned, and bustling with diverse customers. The third floor, however, was reserved for VIP guests. I was told about it, but never shown inside. It was briefly mentioned, then quickly skipped over as they moved on to the next floor. At the time, I didn't find it strange or anything. My mind was too preoccupied with absorbing everything else I was learning. The fourth floor was a storage area, filled with shelves of equipment and crates of ingredients that kept the restaurant running smoothly. The fifth floor housed the living quarters for the drivers working for the restaurant owner, offering them a place to rest between their demanding shifts. Overall, the place was easy to work in. The only inconvenience was the stairs. Originally, there had been a staircase in the old hotel next door that connected to the restaurant. However, when the hotel closed, the staircase was sealed off, making the elevator the only way to go up and down. This was quite inconvenient. The elevator was old and slow, often causing minor delays that added a layer of frustration to the otherwise seamless operation of the restaurant. After working there for 2 months, I had pretty much become friendly with the other staff, chatting and joking with them while working almost every day. Whenever I had questions about the restaurant, I would ask my coworkers, who were always eager to answer without feeling bothered. Most of my questions were trivial about the menu or kitchen protocols, but one day, while chatting with a senior coworker, I asked a question that made everyone go silent. I've been working here for 2 months, and I've explored every corner of the restaurant, but I've never been to the 3rd floor. What's it like up there? Upon hearing my question, everyone went silent and looked at each other, unsure how to respond. The jovial mood evaporated in an instant, replaced by a serious atmosphere. After a tense pause, one of the more experienced staff members finally replied that the 3rd floor was for VIP guests and was used when the 1st and 2nd floors were full or for special events. But nowadays, we don't have many customers. The 1st and 2nd floors are usually sufficient to serve everyone. After that, the conversation quickly shifted to another topic. I didn't think much of the answer at the time, though I felt somewhat odd. It was a simple, reasonably convincing explanation, yet why did everyone seem so tense? What was it about the 3rd floor that made everyone so uncomfortable? My curiosity was piqued, but I brushed it off at the time since we had to continue with our work. The next day, around 1 a.m., still curious, I seized a moment when no one was watching and snuck over to the elevator, pressing the button for the 3rd floor. When the doors opened, the entire floor was dark since it wasn't frequently used, so the lights weren't left on. The only light came from the elevator, casting long, eerie shadows along the hallway. Looking around, I saw that the 3rd floor had 5 rooms, each with sliding glass doors and its own light switch. I started searching for a switch nearby, eventually finding one and illuminating the main room. The sudden light revealed dust-covered furniture and abandoned decor, as if the floor had been frozen in time. All the rooms were closed, but I could see inside each one through the glass doors. Each room had a large, round table with chairs arranged around it, eerily reminiscent of a conference or dining area. The rooms were identically furnished, amplifying the sense of disuse and neglect. As I reached the last room, I heard the unmistakable sound of a chair being dragged and glass shattering from the next room. My heart pounded in my chest, and a cold sweat broke out on my forehead. Terrified, I turned and ran towards the elevator without looking back. I heard a door open and close behind me, but couldn't tell which room it came from. Panic surged through me as I repeatedly pressed the call button, only to realize it wasn't working. I had forgotten to lock the elevator. It was nearly 2 a.m., and the cleaning lady had probably taken the elevator down and locked it to move all the cleaning supplies. I stood frozen in front of the elevator, not knowing what to do, the darkness pressing in around me, too scared to look back. Without my phone, I was trapped on the 3rd floor, unable to go back down. Just then, I remembered the dumbwaiter, a small elevator that was never locked and was always used only for sending food orders between floors. I decided to write a message asking for help and send it down with the dumbwaiter. However, the dumbwaiter was located at the end of the VIP room corridor, which meant I had to walk back past the room where I had heard those terrifying noises. I hesitated, my hair standing on end, but there was no other choice. Summoning my courage, I walked back down the hallway toward the dumbwaiter. I moved cautiously, hearing footsteps other than my own, echoing along with noises from the VIP room, but I kept going all the way. The corridor seemed to stretch on forever, my own shadow warping and elongating as if alive, twisting into grotesque shapes on the walls as I passed. When I finally reached the dumbwaiter, I hastily scribbled a note, my hands trembling, the words barely legible. Trapped on 3rd floor. Help, I'm being haunted by ghosts. Please come and help. I hoped that someone would find my message and rescue me from this terrifying place. My knees trembled, and I collapsed in front of the dumbwaiter, crying in fear as I continued to hear the sounds of doors creaking, chairs scraping, and finally, the unmistakable sound of footsteps approaching. My mind raced, panic setting in as the footsteps drew nearer. I shut my eyes, bracing for the worst. Just then, the elevator at the end of the hall suddenly slid open with a ding. My coworker and the cleaning lady rushed out, their faces a mixture of concern and fear. They hurried to my side, lifting me up and escorting me back into the elevator. I could barely stand, my legs weak with terror. I had never found the dim elevator light so comforting before. As we were going down, my colleague's voice was stern, scolding me for venturing to the 3rd floor. They admitted with a shiver in their tone that even they were too scared to go up there. When I glanced around, I saw my other colleagues gathered nearby, their faces pale with fear and curiosity, asking what I had experienced. But I, too traumatized to speak, could only shake my head. I left for home that night, the horrifying experience replaying in my mind, a terrifying loop I couldn't escape. The next morning, I knew I couldn't return to that place. The fear was too much for me to handle. When I handed in my resignation, the cleaning lady quietly approached me and pulled me aside. Her voice was hushed, filled with sorrow, as she shared a story that sent chills down my spine. Years ago, she explained, a fire had broken out on the 3rd floor. The elevator had malfunctioned, and the fire escape was in another building, inaccessible from that floor. Those trapped in the VIP room, both staff and customers, had no way out. Tragically, they all perished in the flames.